Sarah, before we jump into the technical stuff, I have to ask, why does everyone keep bringing up the schwa when talking about English, especially in London? It's this tiny sound, but people get oddly passionate about it.
It's almost hilarious, isn't it? But honestly, the schwa is everywhere, like the unsung hero holding English together. London accents, whether posh or street, lean on the schwa to keep things moving smoothly. If you miss it, you just don't sound native.
So it's like the glue? The thing stopping English from falling apart into little stressed syllables?
Exactly. And in London, it's the ultimate stress buster. It keeps our words bouncing along, which makes the London rhythm so recognizable to the rest of the world.
All right. But let's be honest, most people don't even realize they're using the schwa. What does it actually sound like for someone who's never tuned in?
Picture this. The relaxed us sound in sofa or right at the end of teacher. Most of us never think about it, but it's the quiet workhorse in words that don't get stressed.
That's so true! I hear it all over the place, even in my own name. Paul, if you say it fast, people barely hit that vowel. It's almost swallowed.
Totally. And what's wild is that it pops up in so many spellings. It's a shapeshifter, hiding behind A, E, O, or even U, depending on the word.
Speaking of shapeshifting, have you noticed how the schwa actually changes depending on which London accent you're listening to?
Absolutely. And it's subtle too. In received pronunciation, the schwa is clean, almost neutral. But switch over to multicultural London English, and it can sound just a shade more open. Cockney, meanwhile, sometimes lets the schwa really take over a word, think butter, said with that classic East End vibe.
I love how just one little sound can tell you so much about who you're talking to or even what part of London they're from. I want to dig into something you said earlier, the schwa as the core of English rhythm. That's a big claim. Can you walk us through why that is?
Sure. English is a stress-timed language, so we naturally rush through unstressed syllables. The schwa lets us do that. It's like the shortcut for our mouths. Without it, every word would sound robotic and stilted.
That makes sense. When people overpronounce every syllable, it's almost jarring, like they're reading from a list instead of actually talking.
Exactly. That's why mastering the schwa is a game changer for sounding natural, especially in any London accent.
Here's the thing. So many learners have a tough time with the schwa. Why is that, do you think?
It's tricky because, in lots of other languages, every vowel is pronounced clearly. English is sneaky, we blur half of them. Learners worry about being correct and end up overstressing words. It's totally normal, but it does make you sound a bit rigid.
I've heard people say, so fa, with 2 strong syllables, and it just sounds off. And then, Londoners breeze through and say, so fa, as if that second syllable barely exists.
Right, and the more you listen, the more you realize the schwa is what gives English its flow, especially in fast-paced London speech.
Let's zoom in on how the schwa shows up differently in RP, Cockney, and MLE. Any fun examples come to mind?
Take the word water. In RP, it's a soft water. Cockney speakers often drop the T entirely, so you get wa'a. MLE speakers might keep the T, but give the schwa a bit more energy, so it sounds almost like water.
That's brilliant. It's almost like each group puts their own spin on the schwa, like a fingerprint for the neighborhood. What trips people up is how the schwa can hide behind so many different vowels in writing. There's no neat spelling rule, is there?
Not at all. The schwa's like a master of disguise. You see it in the A of about, the E in problem, even the O in button. There's no obvious pattern, which makes predicting it a nightmare for learners.
I've seen spelling tests where people just freeze. Is that an E or an A? It's almost unfair.
Completely. But it also makes English quirky and fun once you get the hang of it.
Let's talk speed. Londoners are notorious for racing through words. How does the schwa help with that?
Honestly, without it, we'd be tripping over our tongues. The schwa lets us clip unstressed syllables so we can talk faster and still be understood. That's why London speech feels so snappy.
And sometimes full words practically disappear. Like going to just becomes gonna, with both O's melting into schwas.
Exactly, once you notice it, you start hearing it everywhere. Even in everyday phrases, the schwa sneaks in and keeps things flowing.
That actually reminds me. Have you ever caught yourself overusing the schwa or catching it in surprising words?
Oh, all the time. You'd be shocked how many words sneak in a schwa. Family is a classic. Some folks say fam-a-lee. Others shrink it to fam-lee. Plus, in London slang, the schwa pops up in places you wouldn't expect.
It's like a secret handshake for locals. If you use the schwa right, you instantly sound like you belong.
And for learners, it's a shortcut to sounding way more natural even if you still have an accent.
You touched on this earlier, but I'd love for you to elaborate. How important is the schwa for blending in, say, at a London pub or on the bus?
It's huge. The schwa's a badge of in-group status almost. If you hit every vowel clearly, people immediately know you're not local. But slip in those relaxed schwas, and suddenly, no one bats an eye.
That's so true. I've seen learners light up when someone mistakes them for a Londoner just because they nailed the schwa.
It's such a confidence boost. And it's usually the first sign you're really picking up the rhythm of London English.
I think it's worth talking about the classic mistakes learners make with the schwa, like, what should they watch out for?
One biggie is overpronouncing. People want to say teacher as teacher when it should be teacher. Another is missing the schwa in function words. Words like and or of go by so fast they almost vanish.
And once you start listening for it, you notice even native speakers mess it up sometimes when they're being super formal or nervous.
Exactly. It's all about relaxing into the flow. Listen to locals, mimic their rhythm, and suddenly the schwa feels natural, not forced.
Before we wrap up, let's give listeners a few fun ways to practice. Got any tricks or tongue twisters up your sleeve?
Definitely. Try saying banana 3 times, focusing on the middle na each time, or repeat sofa cushion until the vowels start melting together. Recording yourself can help too. You'll hear those schwas sneak in.
I love that. And it's a good excuse to sound silly in your kitchen, which is basically how all good language learning starts.
Plus, you'll be amazed how quickly your ear tunes in. Suddenly you're hearing schwas everywhere on the tube, in coffee shops, even in song lyrics.
So to pull it all together, the schwa isn't just a technical bit of linguistics, it's a living, breathing part of London's voice, right?
Completely. It's the heartbeat of English rhythm, and the secret sauce for blending in. The more you notice it, the more connected you feel to the city itself.
I guess that's the real magic. One tiny, relaxed sound, but it opens the door to the whole London vibe.
Exactly. So next time you're in London, listen for the schwa. It's everywhere and now. You'll know the secret.